Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we try to uncover the hidden truths behind corporate filings. Today we're digging into Vivakor Incorporated's latest report, and let me tell you, it is like watching a company try to reinvent itself with a few more shares and exciting new plans. So, what is the big news? Vivakor Incorporated is making some pretty significant moves to expand its share capital and is looking to acquire another company. That is the headline, but let's unpack what that really means for investors and the company's future. Alright, let's dive into the first major update. Vivakor Incorporated has officially filed to amend its Articles of Incorporation. Now, what does that actually mean in simple terms? Think of the Articles of Incorporation as the company's birth certificate and its rulebook all rolled into one. By amending it, they're changing some of those fundamental rules. The big change here is about something called authorized shares. Basically, they are massively increasing the number of shares they are allowed to create and issue. They're going from whatever they had before to a whopping 515 million shares. This includes 500 million shares of common stock and 15 million shares of preferred stock. Why would a company do this? Usually, it is to have the flexibility to raise more money in the future, perhaps by selling more stock, or to use stock as currency for acquisitions or employee compensation. It means they're planning for growth, or at least creating the capacity for it. Now, these kinds of big decisions like changing the company's share structure don't just happen, the shareholders get a say. And that is where this next part comes in. Vivakor Incorporated held a special meeting of its stockholders, and they voted on a few key proposals. The first big vote was to approve what they call investor stock issuances. This is likely related to the increase in authorized shares we just talked about, meaning they're getting the green light to issue more stock, probably to investors. Next up was the approval of a reverse stock split. This is where a company reduces the number of outstanding shares, but increases the price per proportionally. For example, if you have 10 shares at $1 each, a 1 for -10 reverse split would give you one share valued at $10. Companies often do this to boost their stock price, especially if it has fallen too low and is nearing delisting from a major exchange. This vote directly ties back to the earlier point about amending their Articles of Incorporation. So the shareholders are giving their approval for that significant increase in the total number of shares the company can issue. Finally, there was a vote to approve the 2025 Equity and Incentive Plan. This is essentially a plan to give out stock options or actual stock to employees and executives. This is a common way to incentivize people to work hard and align their interests with those of the shareholders. And the results are in: all four proposals were overwhelmingly approved by the shareholders. This means the company now has the shareholder backing to issue more stock, implement a reverse stock split, and move forward with their incentive plan. This signals a period of potential restructuring and a push for future growth or funding. But that is not all. Vivakor Incorporated also announced a really interesting development on this same day. They've signed a non-binding letter of intent to acquire a company called Coyote Oilfield Services, LLC. This is a significant strategic move. A letter of intent means they've agreed in principle to the deal, but it is not final yet. It is the first step towards a potential merger or acquisition. This suggests Vivakor is looking to expand its business operations by bringing Coyote Oilfield Services under its umbrella. The specifics of the deal will be fleshed out in further negotiations, but it signals a clear intention to grow through acquisition. Now remember that certificate of amendment we talked about. It was officially filed with the Secretary of State of Nevada on the 23rd of December, 2025. This is the official paperwork that makes the increase in authorized shares a reality. And that press release announcing the acquisition of Coyote Oilfield Services, that is included as Exhibit 99.1, so all the official documentation is there. It is important to note that this particular information is considered furnished rather than filed, which means it is for disclosure but doesn't carry the same legal weight as a formal filing. And finally, the report is signed off by James Ballingy, the Chief Executive Officer, on the 23rd of December 2025. This dates the report and confirms the company's official acknowledgement of these events. So, putting it all together, Vivakor Incorporated is clearly in a transformative phase. They're preparing to issue a lot more stock, which could mean they're looking to raise capital or use stock for acquisitions. They're also planning a reverse stock split, which often signals an effort to make the stock price more attractive. And the big one, they're looking to acquire Coyote Oilfield Services. This acquisition, if it goes through, could significantly alter the company's business and market position. Now, for my take on this, Vivakor Incorporated is showing ambition, no doubt about it. The increase in authorized shares and the reverse stock split suggest they are strategizing for future growth and perhaps trying to improve their stock's market perception. The planned acquisition of Coyote Oilfield Services is a bold move and could be a game changer, offering diversification and new revenue streams. However, acquisitions are complex and risky. Success hinges on proper integration, realizing synergies, and whether the price is right. On the flip side, issuing more shares can dilute existing shareholders' value if not managed carefully. The true test will be how effectively they execute these plans and whether the promised growth materializes. It is a period of high potential for Vivakor, but also one that carries significant execution risk. Alright, that is our breakdown of Vivakor Incorporated's latest filing. What is your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.